All right, hey guys, this is Axe with the PCRI's update of the weekend of May 14th, going into the week of May 16th, 2022. And I just want to go over the PCRIs real quick to give you an idea and explain a little bit of why it's been so complicated to get a read on these lately. You can see if we look in the past, right? Let's talk about this September of 2020 and October, and I'm just going to turn this off for a minute. Okay, you can see we've got this sort of like double top formation, very similar to what we have now, where we double topped and this double bottomed in and came down, and that was it. The low was in, right? This had a higher high. This smooth average had a higher high, just like we do now. Very similar setup, and this is why I've pointed this setup out a couple times. It says, hey, we could be near a bottom here, but every time the sell pressure increased, and boom, they destroyed anybody who tried to get long. But this is what it used to look like, right? And if you look at the pattern through this whole bull phase, basically from that November low all the way to our high in December, January, it was very similar, right? Once the PCRIs crossed down below here, the correction was over, and we sort of got a mini bull run, right? So anytime we got up here, set lower highs, came down below this average, you can see here we have a crossover. Anytime we really had a crossover, especially if it was a double crossover to the downside, it marked the end of that corrective wave, and off we go up. We chopped our way higher, which is what I was hopeful for would happen this time. But you can see in this case we had similar sort of chop, but now the trend has clearly moved down. Right, so anytime we move down underneath here, we have a crossover in this range, right, of February. All it did was set up another top. So when you hear me say it's PCRIs maybe setting up another top, that's sort of what I'm talking about. Where in the past this would come down and cross over, that sets up a bottom, and we're going to rally. But in this case now, the impulses are so strong, and we're in a clear downtrend that we're just setting up the next top. So here we cross down, and this would typically be very bullish. This was after that FOMC rally where it got stopped up here. We came down, we crossed over. That was the euphoric period, but all it did was set up the next top. So now we're in a period, until proven otherwise, of setting up tops instead of setting up bottoms, right? So don't get me wrong, we could easily, if you watch the market update where I talk about the Elliott wave targets and double bottoming out of here and sort of like an ABC corrective, we can easily double bottom here and get out. The challenge is we're in a sell the rip market until proven otherwise, right? Because we don't want to get caught long if we're going to get the bottom dropped out from underneath us. But we could be in a scenario like this September, October, November of 2020 where we're going to double bottom and jet out of here. That's what I'm hoping for, and I'll be happy to call that and let you know when it happens. But for now, what we're expecting is, you can see where we sort of cross over here, we set up a top here, we cross down, we set up a top here, we cross down, we set up a top here. Same thing over and over and over again. So what I'm expecting is any rally we get, if we don't clear this 4160 range, all we're doing is setting up sort of a double top. So we're rolling over here. This could be constructive, but we set up a double top the last time it did it. We set up sort of like a double top at the initial December, January top. So right now we're in a position where in the past the PCRs would say, hey, we're bottoming, this is great. But until I see us clear resistance of this 4130 to 4160 range, and stop setting these double tops, I'm cautious to say that the PCRIs are rolling over towards a bottom. So I'm not going to use the term bottom anymore until I'm confident that we actually have a chance of setting one. So anyway, we're rolling over here. We are going to see some sort of move up. We just don't know to what extent. And we're going to watch. Like if the PCRIs come way down here like they did in March, we know, okay, this rally could have some legs, double bottom. Let's test the top of this 4,500 range, and let's see. But if we come down here like we did in the past and they start to go back up, we know, okay, the down move is just, we're starting another corrective wave. it's going to go down. So that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to start posting these charts more often so that you guys can get a better feel for how they look on a day-to-day basis. But of course, if you have any questions, you need to see the chart at any time, reach out to me via DM on Discord, via DM on Twitter, or send a public message in the Discord channel. I hope that's helpful, and look to see y'all next week.